One of the key facets of working at a regional newspaper is about keeping government accountable, and we do a lot of stories based upon the workings of the local council. It's really important that our newspaper is a voice of the people that can't be heard in our communities, and that's why we take such a stringent approach, I guess, to investigating what is happening at council level. Tom Cowie recently undertook a Freedom of Information request regarding council spending on purchase cards, and I think that's a great example of where that information is not available to the public, and it's our role as a newspaper to undertake that work on behalf of the community so that the spending that happens at the council actually is in line with community expectations.
The role of being a Freedom of Information reporter is coming up with first of all, ideas of things that you want to get a hold of. And this one came to me after following other people's freedom of information ideas that they've used in other media, and then seeing if we can bring it to the Courier in Ballarat. So one of the tricks of putting in a good FOI request is knowing what you're after. Sometimes that means knowing that you want a specific document, whether that comes from a tip-off from a source that said a specific report has got something that you should look at, then you can ask for that and hopefully you'll get that report. Other times there are other types of freedom of information requests that are a bit more, as I call them, fishing exercises, where you don't exactly know what you're after but you know there could be something there, which was in the case of the council spending FOI request, which was essentially asking for every transaction for 4 years and then getting it back and then analysing it to see if you can find any irregularities. What we got back was 900 pages of documents, which took me months and months to go through and finally develop into a story, which then we ran on a Saturday in our weekend paper, and it ran on the front page along with a spread inside. Now, we didn't find any big irregularities or any scandal, that's fair enough, but we did find that spending had increased over the time period, and it increased quite a lot, double in the final year. The part of the story that probably got the most reaction was when we broke down the spending into categories and what they've been spending it on. We found out they've been spending tens of thousands of dollars on coffee, as well as gifts and accommodation and all those kinds of things. Whenever you report that kind of stuff, people are going to be very interested by it. Ranging opinions from whether it was, finally there's been an investigation into this, to the other side where they thought, it wasn't such a good story and that perhaps, we were beating it up or something like that. That comes with the territory of these kinds of stories. You have to be ready for criticism as well as any kind of encouragement that you receive.
Now, the council weren't particularly happy that we got our hands on that information, but they've now changed their processes, and that process is now more transparent than ever, and that is the job of that our reporter has done by obtaining that information, and that's a great result for our community.